Okay, so after the first 3 hours of content, I've now got a tiny little audience, which mostly just means I'm proud of what I made. While I was honest about my original statement, about not planning any future content, that limited success did make me open to making more. And on Tuesday, I was watching EOXS's stream, link in the description, about HP inflation, and I found myself talking to the walls again. The following morning, it dawned on me that that should be my standard for making new content. I won't plan any future videos. I'm not going to start making regular content like how to play videos or streaming. But anytime I find myself wanting to join the conversation, I will make and share a video for my contribution. Bonus, if I don't bottle these thoughts up, the resulting video won't end up being an hour and a half long. So let's get started. What did I think about EO's stream? And more specifically, what do I think about the current HP inflation debate? First off, I generally agree with everything EO said over the course of the stream. Still, there were a couple of things that got me ranting. Nothing that I think will start any drama. And those things were, 1, I think EO is right, but maybe he's the wrong messenger. And 2, I disagree with what he said about the Pridwin Shiyu clear times. So let's start off with EO as the messenger. Outside of the light trolling of "you just suck," I think EO has a problem of there being a large skill gap between what he can do and any audience member who's maybe struggling with content that he's trying to convince. Encouraging someone to run a marathon can be inspirational, but if that same person is a competitive marathon runner and they're telling you how easy it is, just how useful is that information? EO telling the community to just try harder and get better is correct. But it's like an obscenely wealthy person giving investment advice to a poor person. The advice may not be wrong, but it might be a bit too far removed from a person's actual problems. Also part of that stream, and having a similar problem, was the reference to challenge mode clears, like the Solo Soldier 11 clear, or even outside of the stream, OK Muzzy's just posted another 2-character Deadly Assault clear. Now those videos can be inspiring. They show players what's possible within the game's rules. They encourage me to try harder, and more importantly, play who I want, how I want. And they are a goal to aspire to even if I am never going to get close to that level. But I also understand that showing perfect or near perfect gameplay with fantastic builds while telling players to get better, not the most constructive help. Now, I'm not really aware of what EO could do differently to address this issue. That being how his level of skill makes him a poor messenger. Once you're good at something, all you can really do is handicap yourself, like the aforementioned videos. But that probably does more to highlight individual skill than it does to demonstrate how fair content is. The point I think he's trying to make, that players need to try harder and play better to fully clear, is correct. But that said, we don't have to master everything he shows and tells us. We don't have to play perfectly to do better. When EO points to a picture of the floor and says it hasn't moved, he's wrong. But I suggest that the reason he's wrong is because he can't even see the floor anymore. Someone who talks about a 2-minute 15-second average clear time as trash no longer knows what the floor looks like. So what I think EO needs, and maybe even the community needs, is someone closer to the problem to speak up. Coincidentally, this is the niche I'm trying to fill in the community. I am not a meta player, but I am an invested player who devotes time and effort to clear content. I have 9-starred every Deadly Assault and been S-ranking all of Shiyu defense since 1.1. But that has not always been easy, and it's been getting harder. Especially recently, I very rarely 3-star Deadly Assault, or S-rank Shiyu 6 and 7 on my first try. In fact, I may spend multiple days within the 2-week window making attempts, each day leveling and tuning my teams in order to finally succeed. And this is with characters that I've been building up since launch. So that's why I'm throwing my 2 cents into the conversation here. I am a messenger closer to the problem. And up front, let me declare that I do not think HP inflation is currently a problem. I say that as someone who has to actually work for my points and ranks. Back in my first video, I introduced the concept of the bar. The bar being the minimum the devs expect from you for max rewards. HP inflation is directly linked to the bar. And contrary to what EO said, the bar has been getting higher. It's been getting higher since launch, and it's definitely being felt here in the last 2 or 3 patches. And I think that that's a good thing. Deadly Assault and Shield Defense are endgame challenge content. They should not be free and easy to max rank. They should be a challenge, and they are intended to challenge long-term players. To be more specific, they are intended to challenge players like me. I have perfect attendance in ZZZ, which is not really something to brag about, but it means that I have a large roster of well-leveled characters. And I don't think a single one of those characters is fully leveled. Which I only mention because on any day, I can still make myself stronger by just investing more points in a character. I am not stuck up against a wall where my only option is to play perfectly. I still have multiple ways to improve every day. To challenge a player like me, the devs have needed to raise the bar. So here's 3 points I want to make about HP inflation and Zenless Zone Zero. My first point, number 1. The bar started low. Now, I still found it a challenge at launch. I didn't fully S-rank clear until the second reset, right at the start of 1.1. But even then, I completed that first clear when my characters were only level 50 to 55, and I barely had 2 teams. That's how low the bar was at the start. We could clear it under level. Honestly, from that point on, fully clearing Shield Defense was pretty much free. I could reliably get around a 1 minute 30 second clear time with my Piper, Core, and Lucy team, which meant I could take as long as 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the second half with any team I wanted, such as the new teams I was building to expand my roster. And expanding my roster of teams meant I was better able to take advantage of the banner bonuses from each patch's new characters, which helped keep my clear times low. So Shield Defense was pretty much free and easy until sometime in 1.5, I want to say? Maybe as early as 1.4, but what I remember most at that point was just rounds 4 and 5 starting to get harder. Anyway, that's point number 1 about HP inflation not being a problem. From launch, the bar was deliberately set low, since the devs needed us to actually have a leveled roster before they could start pushing us. I would argue that any HP inflation from launch to like 1.5 is irrelevant, and shouldn't be factored into any future arguments. And somewhat related to that, as a short aside, I remember laughing to myself, as someone who enjoys playing a diverse set of characters, especially the A-rank ones, when Deadly Assault first came out and people started griping about needing a third team. I was set. I had 4 solid teams by that point: Physical, Fire, Ether, and Electric, and that was before Miyabi and Harumasa came out, so I had a good laugh when people started complaining. Yeah, ZZZ isn't an all of your eggs in one basket style of game. You want to diversify. Anyway, this leads to my second point on why I don't think HP inflation is a problem. Number 2, it's supposed to be challenge content. The bar has always gotten higher. Since Deadly Assault launched in 1.4, it has never been free for me. I think I got 5 points total that first day when I attempted to clear it. And Shield Defense keeps getting harder too. For the last 3 to 4 resets, my first attempts on rounds 6 and 7 have failed to S-rank. For the last 2 resets, I have struggled to get my teams to S-rank 6 and 7. My first attempts are usually between 6 minutes and 6 minutes and 30 seconds. At that point, I have 2 options. A, I switch to a stronger team, or B, level the characters I used, since we do have 2 weeks to clear after all. Starting with option A, switching to a stronger team, let it be fully known the characters in ZZZ are not balanced. Characters like Miyabi and Astra are incredibly powerful. They are easy mode for ZZZ's endgame challenges. If I am running out of time to clear Shield Defense or Deadly Assault, or maybe I'm just being a little lazy, I know I can fall back on those characters to almost guarantee me a win. I'm pretty okay with that. I like that I have that as a safety net. I disagree with any notion that HP inflation is because of those characters. Until characters like Piper, Corrin, Ben, Zhu Yuan, etc. become unusable, the devs are not tuning difficulty around super characters like Miyabi and Astra. Neither of those characters are necessary to clear content. they are easy mode options you can fall back on. And because they're my fallback, option B, leveling my characters and trying again, is my preferred option. If I can get close to par, like say about 3 minutes in a Shiyu half, or 18k for Deadly Assault, on my first attempt, then I consider that team possible, and I may decide to keep trying with them. At my level of skill, I can swing a Shiyu defense clear time plus or minus 30 seconds, or Deadly Assault by 1 to 2,000 points, just by trying again and playing better. So if I try once or twice a day, and each day I devote my gym time, training room energy, to the characters on that team, doing that, my experience has been that I can eventually hit 3 stars or S rank. For the last 2 Shiyu defense resets, that S rank has literally been at the buzzer. In fact, I have twice now seen the A rank completion screen with both a 5-minute and a 5-minute 1-second time appear at the end of the fight. But the devs seem pretty nice, because each time I returned to the Shiyu defense menu, they had given me the S rank anyway. Turns out they don't want to rob you at the buzzer. That close finish is what I consider peak gameplay. My ideal difficulty is something I fail, but still feeling like victory is reasonable, eventually overcome. An easy win is not rewarding. But if I can get close enough that I feel I can work for it, and then do work for it, and achieve it, I think that feels incredible. That is my number one reason not to wail on ZZZ. Because an easy victory is joyless. Stuff your 65k Deadly Assault clear. I will take a buzzer beater victory every time. Doubly so if it means I cleared with the teams I want to play, how I want to play them. For Deadly Assault, I just did something similar last reset. For the Butcher fight, I got like 19k with my Piper, Core, and Lucy team. The anomaly buff for that reset included fire and ether damage bonuses, so it wasn't an ideal team. But the performance bonus was for defensive assists, which is half the reason I use Corrin, so I committed to clearing with my first, and still one of my favorite, teams. It took like another week of tries, and I completely swapped out Piper's disc set. I still kept impact on 6 though, I just didn't manage to roll an attack percent one. But I finally managed to clear just over the limit. I was thrilled. Close enough is good enough. So for context, I do not consider myself a great player. I cannot play perfectly. I do not have or learn rotations. I am not min-maxing my drive disc buffs. Clearing floor 25 of the tower with my Zhu Yuan Seth Nicole team took me literal weeks. It was a struggle. When I did finally clear it, I missed the double kill, so the dead twin got resurrected and the fight went into overtime. I finished that fight, with no deaths, at 8+ minutes. I was exhausted, but I was ecstatic. I literally whooped in the privacy of my own room, just for myself. To date, I have only cleared up to floor 26. I am just not good enough to climb the tower. At least not with the time I'd need and want to invest. And I'm totally okay with that. Which is to say that I'm clearly not trying to brag about my skill at this game. Getting back to the content from EO's stream, with regards to the casuals bar he referenced, I don't know if that puts me near the top of green or the very bottom of yellow. What I do know is that I am way below EO, and other high-level creators telling you it's easy. So from that perspective, down here at the bar, the point I want to make is that HP inflation exists to challenge players at my level. And right now, I think it's in a very good place. To call out a thing EO said, right at about an hour and 55 into his stream, he threw some shade at the average clear times on Pridwin. Now, I'm not saying he's wrong, but I consider that a prime example of him being the wrong messenger. 2 minutes is a great Shiyu defense time when you're at my level. 2 minutes means an extra 30 seconds of slop on your other half. I believe that the dev's goal with HP inflation is to get and keep the average clear time close to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If it gets much lower than that, then it's no longer a challenge mode. In transitioning on that, the third thing I'll say about HP inflation is that I think when many people complain about it, what they maybe are expressing is fear of the future. So number 3, The reason people show graphs of HP inflation is the, I think, incorrect assumption that the trend will continue. I cannot see the future, so I'm just running on faith here. But I am a cheering section fanboy of the ZZZ dev team. I do not believe HP inflation is going to keep going if the average Shiyu clear times drop below 5 minutes. I do not believe that HP inflation is going to keep going if most players can't achieve 20k on Deadly Assault. The devs are watching these numbers. This is literally what designers do as part of their jobs. They are watching the averages and they are tuning the numbers. Par for Shiyu defense is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It has not changed since launch. The devs do not have an incentive to tune the average time to take longer than that. That is the bar. That is where the devs want the majority of us. Based on Pridwin's averages, and this 50% flag from my battle record, which I'm assuming is average percentage of players with a similar score, the devs are doing a good job of tuning the difficulty, so that S ranks and 9 stars are challenging but achievable for the majority of players. So if you're struggling to hit 20k, or S rank Shiyu 6 and 7, here's what I'll say. Firstly, you might just be new. HP inflation is chasing and challenging players that have been here the whole time, players like me. If you just started playing, or only started a few patches ago, then maybe you aren't supposed to S-rank Shiyu defense and 9-star Deadly Assault. If you're hitting that wall, what I would ask you is, have you S-ranked all of the HDD combat missions, especially the set in Chapter 3? Have you completed all of the Hollow Zero modifier challenges? And have you climbed to floor 25 of the tower? I ask those questions to highlight that there's plenty of content for you to work on that isn't being leveled to players like me. If you're relatively new to the game, then don't feel like you're supposed to be able to fully clear the challenge mode that exists to challenge longtime players. Now, if you're not new and still struggling, well, EU says you just suck. But I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you're just lazy. The challenge mode should involve a little bit of work. If you don't want to put in that work, maybe it's just not for you. But I'm not getting the max rewards, you might say. And to that, I would point out that you're missing, 80 polychrome every 2 weeks? That's only like 1.5 pulls a patch. Because you're still at least getting an A rank, right? ZZZ gives rewards for each tier you manage to achieve, so it's not like all or nothing, you have to hit S rank to get polychrome. Now, if you can't A rank Shiyu defense, or even hit 14k on Deadly Assault, well, I hope your problem is that you're just new then, because otherwise, you might just suck. So finally, far from the peaks of Mount Meta, in the spirit of representing us lesser beings, those of us that live here down on the bar, I am going to record my first attempts at the next Shiyu defense reset Friday, May 9th, and post that footage, raw and unedited, to my channel. If it turns out how I hope, it will look very unimpressive, and it will more than likely not be a full S rank clear. I will not use either Astra or Miyabi, and then after that, assuming I don't fully clear, I'll record subsequent attempts over the next week or so until I fully S-rank it, and I'll show any stat, disc, or team changes I make on the way. And we'll see how much editing it takes to make that watchable. If I really suck, it might have to be a montage. But hopefully, I'll end up documenting what it's like down here at the bar, and we can lower some of the temperature on this HP inflation debate. Thank you for listening. Do feel free to comment. I have no social media presence, so here on YouTube is the only place you're going to hear from me. And it's always nice to know that someone is listening. And finally, special thanks to EOXS for inspiring this video with this stream.